we're all here because we know that we have to stand up for our America when the Trump administration overlooks the fact that what is happening with the detention of these children, the circumstances by which they arrived, is a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government. And so we are here to stand up and say that we are not going to allow this to happen, not on our watch. I will tell you, when elected, the first thing I'm going to do, one of the first things, is to shut down these private detention facilities. Just shut them down.
Many months later.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today.
All right, guys, so that was Kamala Harris. Again, breaking campaign promises. Even though, she's not president, she's vice president, but still, she has not even visited the border. Okay, she hasn't even visited the border. And you would think that, because back then she cared so much about these children, so much so that she was seen at a photo op basically giving them inspirational speeches.
Born being a leader. Do you understand? You're born being a leader. And then it's a matter of just when you decide to lead. And you young leaders, you've decided to lead.
So you would think in a situation like this where, she's directly responsible for the crisis that's happening at the border, that she would be down there doing the same thing, right? Giving them pep talks, okay? Telling them it's going to be okay, okay? She can't even go and do that. Why? Because she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed because, again, objectively speaking here, the Biden administration's border crisis is way worse than Trump's. Okay, there are way more immigrants arriving, right? And lo and behold, when Biden's in the driver's seat, they are doing things much worse than President Trump. Okay, in terms of how they're handling this, especially during a pandemic, right? And a lot of this was self-induced because Biden told all of them to come, right? He said, come one, come all. America is open borders, right? And they showed up, right? And it's very disrespectful that the vice president can't even meet them at the border, right? She can't even meet them at the border. But what she is doing is that she is apparently giving her book to migrant children as a welcome pack, the administration claims, and they say that they did not know. But we're not stupid. The Democrats might think their base is stupid, but normal people are not stupid. Let's read more here. A book that Vice President Kamala Harris wrote in 2019 is allegedly being given to migrant children as part of welcome packs that they are receiving at one facility. Quote, Harris children's books, Superheroes Are Everywhere, is included in welcome packs for migrant children arriving at the Long Beach Convention and Entertainment Center, a recently converted influx facility, along with basic hygiene supplies and clothing, photographs show, Fox News reported. A White House official told Fox News Harris wasn't aware of the welcome packs and that these kinds of efforts are usually organized by members of the community. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that. Like, how ironic is it, guys, that Kamala Harris, her book, Superheroes Are Everywhere, are being given to these migrants who we all know that the Democrats, they have no problem letting these people into the country, right? For political reasons. We all know that. And now it comes out that they're also giving these children Kamala Harris's book. And it's called Superheroes Are Everywhere, while they're being let into this country by the Biden administration. Guys, what do you think is happening here? Right? That's one thing I hate about the Democrats. They want us to not believe our common sense. Okay? They don't want us to trust common sense. They don't want us to believe what we're seeing with our eyes. You're letting these children into the country, right? Who some of them have been smuggled. How is it that you would make sure that this child knows who's responsible for letting them into this country? Who's responsible for this new life that they have? You give them a book. Right? You give them a book. This is indoctrination 101, right? That's what it is. That's literally what it is. You give these children figures at a young age, right, to look up to and say, hey, listen, no, this is your superhero. Kamala Harris is your superhero. You should thank her for you being here in this country. Guess what? Those people are going to grow up thinking that Kamala Harris is some type of hero to them. And guess what? And they're probably going to vote Democrat because of it. I mean, the Biden administration, again, they think that people are stupid. And they may rely on that for their base. But again, normal people see what's going on here. It's amazing to me how they just think that people are going to really buy that this is some type of coincidence. It's not. 100% planned. The report noted the Department of Health and Human Services did not respond to requests for comments about who was paying for the books. A White House official claimed to the Washington Examiner that the books was part of a citywide donation effort to collect books and toys for the children and that Harris did not know about it. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. I hear you. The Daily Mail reported that the facility at which the book was found can hold up to 1,000 children at a time. All right, here, guys. So you can see this is a picture of the book being given with the backpack, right? So out of all the books in the world, they had to give them a Kamala Harris book. Out of all the books in the world, right? It could have been Dr. Seuss, but we forgot Dr. Seuss is canceled. You can't give them Dr. Seuss. But you couldn't find some other types of books to give them. You couldn't find nothing else except a book by Kamala Harris that's called Superheroes Are Everywhere. Come on now. Yeah, this is political indoctrination. I'm telling you. The news comes as Harris, who was tapped 31 days ago to lead efforts to fix Democratic President Joe Biden's border crisis, has still not yet visited the border or held a news conference. News broke later this week that the Biden administration is reportedly planning to significantly increase the number of migrants that they release into the U.S. who were apprehended illegally trying to enter the country. The move comes as Biden's border crisis has continued to worsen, with a recent report from CNN indicating that U.S. officials believe they will encounter 2 million migrants illegally trying to enter the U.S. southern border this year. That is more than the population of Alaska, Vermont, and Wyoming combined. The Biden administration anticipates that it will be releasing 400 migrant families into the country a day by mid-June as the influx of people encountered illegally crossing the border overwhelms its detention capacity, the Washington Examiner reported. The 400 figure is 8 times greater than the 50 families that Border Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement were releasing from its facilities each day early on in 2021. As of mid-March, Border Patrol agents were seeing 500 people arrive as a part of a family group per day. Wow. That is insane. Biden is straight up just being like, you know what? There's so many people coming at this point. We just can't hold them. We can't hold them. They don't want to send them back, right? They don't want to send them back. So they're just releasing them into the country. They're just like, you know, we're just going to up it. We don't care at this point. Doesn't matter. He's just openly like, it's just beyond our power to control this. Because again, they don't want to send them back. And holding them at the facility is not politically expedient because Republicans are calling them out on it, right? So now they're just like, you know what? We'll just release them into the country. That way you have less of them at the facility, right? It appears to be less of a crisis than it actually is. And you're getting what you want, which is to have these, migrants come into the country, right? And then you give them political books, right? The Kamala Harris book, tell them that Kamala Harris is your superhero. And then you just wait 20 years, right? That's literally what the strategy is. That's literally it. And I'm not stupid. This is not a coincidence. This is how the Democrats play their game. This is how they're playing their game. And Kamala Harris wants to show up to every single border except the right border, because this is ultimately a part of the Democrat strategy, right? It is not a coincidence that they've given up. Biden just gave up on trying to contain these people. He's just like, you know what? We're just going to let people in and we're going to increase. It doesn't matter anymore, right? And then as these people come in, you're giving the children books and telling them that Kamala is your superhero. I mean, come on, man. How much more clear can it get what's going on with this border crisis, guys? This is literally a part of the Democrat strategy. This is their number one strategy. So yeah, when Kamala doesn't visit the border, even though she's in charge of it, right? You would think she would go down there to get an idea of, how bad it actually is. She doesn't care how bad it actually is because at the end of the day, to them, it's not a crisis. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. And they're taking advantage of it. And guess what? We've stopped talking about it because now we've started talking about other stuff. The Biden administration knows that the news cycle moves, right? The news cycle has protected Cuomo. It's protected Biden on the border because then we're talking about race again, right? That's the game. That's the game. So, man, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Kamala knew, right, that they're giving her books to these children at the border? Or do you think that this is totally a coincidence? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.